Will AI completely replace software engineers? I strongly believe the answer is a solid no. And I'm going to explain this using the human growing up as an example. Right? When a baby is still an infant, the baby does not know how to feed herself and she can absolutely do anything on her own. She literally depends on an adult for absolutely each and everything, right? The baby needs an adult who actually knows what she's doing to in order to safely feed that baby. And this is like the very early stages of AI, where it was just more of like an auto completion tool, where it would predict the next word you're about to type or the next function you're about to call. Nothing fancy, just basic auto completion, right? Then going back to a human example, the child then grows from being an infant to a toddler. Now the baby can now eat on her own, but still she cannot cook. She needs an adult to cook the meal for her and to save the food for her, and then she can only eat once the food is in the plate. And now this is like the early stages of ChatGPT, where you could explain a problem to it and it would actually give you proper code snippets and proper business logic that you would still need to wire up into a proper software, right? And then there is the third stage to the human growing up, where the human becomes like a teenager, right? At this stage, the teenage child can now eat on her own, can even cook the whole meal on her own, right? But still, an adult will be there deciding what to cook and when to cook, because remember, it's the adult who's buying this food. This teenager can only know how to cook and eat, right? And I think that's the same with AI, and that's the stage we are at today with AI. Now AI can create a complete system, but at the end of the day, is still the engineer who is detecting what and when to build, which features to build, which tools to use, etc. Right? Even though AI is doing all of that development, it is the engineer that's still calling the shots. And I strongly believe this is where we are going to stop with AI. Right? AI is still improving, is still getting better. But I strongly believe that AI, yes, it will improve and it will start doing code reviews on its own. It will start running unit tests on its own, doing everything. But at the end of the day, it's going to be this human software engineer who will be detecting what to build, when to build, how to build, which tools to use, right? But for argument's sake, let's go to the fourth and final stage of the human being and see why AI won't be going there, right? So after being a teenager, the human being becomes an adult, right? At this stage now, the human being is now completely independent of the other adult, because at this stage you can eat, you can cook, you are now making your own money, so you decide what to cook and when to cook. No one tells you what to do, right? Bringing it back to AI, I know people are going to say AI is going to be so good that it will decide what to code, when to code, etc. Now, when AI gets to that point where it decides what to build, when to build, which tools to use, and when you get to that point where the engineer is no longer relevant, what it means is that the AI now understands. When the AI needs to understand what tools to use, the AI now understands which resources do we have, and the AI now understands the business logic, and the AI now understands all the people aspects and all the administration aspects that feeds into software development. And when that happens, the AI wouldn't have just replaced software engineers, but it would have replaced almost everyone. And if that happens, it means that everyone won't be having a job, and we will all be just jobless, broke people, and there will be no one to buy the products that the AI is building. And actually, everything will just stop. So, even if AI is improving, there is still going to be the engineer at the end of the day who's calling the shots. At least I believe that's how we are going to frame it.